Hello everyone, I'm Amod and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In the previous video of this playlist, I explained about the asynchronous behavior of JavaScript. So now we know that JavaScript is a single-threaded programming language. That means it can execute one task at a time, line by line, and in the top to bottom approach. If you want to run JavaScript, you need a JavaScript engine and you can run the JavaScript code within a browser or outside the browser. So every browser has a JavaScript engine which executes your JavaScript code. But if you want to execute your JavaScript code outside a browser, we need to use nodejs environment. And both environments provide some additional features to JavaScript. And they believe if any task takes more time, so instead of blocking the main thread, complete the task outside of main thread and call it back when done. That's why JavaScript behaves asynchronously because of these features provided by these environments. I have already explained all these concepts in my previous video and I will recommend if you haven't watched that. So in this video tutorial, we are going to learn about callbacks and the problems with the callback. So callback is always the confusing topic for the JavaScript users. So let's start in a very simple way. So I'm going to start from scratch. Just forget the term callback as of now. So here I'm going to create a function greet and I will pass a parameter name. This function will simply log hello and whatever name we pass. So to call this method, we need to call greet and just pass the name. Let me run this program. I'm running JavaScript code outside a browser, so I need to use node command and pass the file name. So you can see it printing hello Amod. Very good. Now I'm going to have one more function and name I will have ask how are you, and this function will also take one parameter and it is going to console how are you and then name. So after calling greet function, I'm going to call second function and I will pass any name here. If you rerun this program, it will print hello Amod first and then it is printing how are you Amod. Here I am calling these functions one after another. So when you call this greet function, you can call second function within my greet function as well. And here I can pass the same name. And if you run the program, you're going to get the same result. Now I'm going to add one more function and name of this function will be ask to return money. And here it will log when you will return my money. So the scenario now, after greeting, I may need to call this function or this function. So this way we cannot hard code it here. Maybe I want to have a logic. If the person name is X, then ask how are you. If the person name is Y, then ask when you are going to return my money. So instead of hard coding this function call here, I'm going to have one new parameter here and I can reference it as what to call next. You can give any name. And now when we call this greet function, I'm going to pass the name and here I will pass the function. Yeah, in JavaScript we can pass a function as a parameter as well. So for Amod, I'm going to ask how are you? And here you don't need to use parentheses like this. That means if you do, it is going to call it immediately. So we are not calling the function here, but we are just passing the function as a parameter to another function. And now we know that this will be a function. So I'm going to call this function after greeting. So function name will be what to call next. And here it will accept one parameter name. Similarly, I can duplicate this statement. And here for Ravi, I'm going to call ask to return money. Let's run this program. And you can see for Amod, it is asking, how are you? But for Ravi, it is asking, when you will return my money, Ravi. Okay, so now you will ask, okay, I got the concept. What is the connection with our topic here? So one thing we know that asynchronous features provided by environments will not be executed in the main thread. So basically we need to have a control to get the result of the task which was running asynchronously. Just for example, you want to read a file and reading the file will be time consuming. So in Node, we have a method read file, which is asynchronous. So when you call this method, the execution of this method will not be in the main thread. So the execution will not be blocked, but you want to get the content when file reading is done. So basically your next step is dependent on the previous step. That means read the file. Once done, perform the next step. And that is very obvious, right? If you want to search something in a file, so first need to read the file so that you can get the content and you can perform the search. But if the file itself is not loaded, then how can you search that? So second action is dependent on the first task. And whatever example I have shown you here, basically it is solving our problem. We are just passing the function which we need to call after performing some action. So in JavaScript, if you pass a function to another function, this kind of function is basically called callback functions. We are calling back the function after completion of a specific task. That's why it's called callback. Now let's see the example. So suppose I have a function read file content. This method will take a param, maybe file name, and within this function I'm going to call a method provided by nodejs, which is read file. But to call that function I need to require it. So const fs require module name is fs, which is file system. Now using this fs I can call read file method, and here I need to pass the file name. Then let's pass the encoding also, which is UTF-8. So this is the first step. But once file reading is successful, I want to perform some search in the file content. So I'm going to have a function which will be search something, and this will take a param, maybe content, and here I can have simple console.log search successful. Now I need to link. After reading the file successfully, I need to call this function. So I'm going to add one more param in this first function. Maybe I can name it as search content. And in the read file method, you can see it is already expecting a callback function from you, where the first param will be error and second param will be data. So in this read file function, I can pass search content. And in the Node.js, we follow error first callback policy. That means in the callback function, first param will be always error and then second parameter will be data. So this function may have one more param, error, and then content. And now I can call this function with the file path, and I need to pass a function here which will be this one. Let me copy the random file path and pass it here. So here I am passing the file path and a callback function. Let me run this program. So you can see it is printing search successful, which is my callback function here. So basically this is the function read file content, which is taking one file name parameter and a callback function. This function will be called once file is loaded. So any callback function in JavaScript is also named as callback generally. So you can give any name, that is just the name to reference it, and you can use the same name here as well. Even instead of creating a separate new function, we can directly pass an anonymous function. So here I can have error and content and arrow symbol, and you can log whatever you want to do. So search successful. So we don't need this function anymore. And if you run this program again, you're going to get the same result. So with the knowledge we have as of now, we can think that callback is a good option to handle asynchronous behavior of JavaScript. But sadly, that is not true. So the major problem with the callback is the nested callback. For example, we have a task 1, task 2, task 3, and task 4. Task 2 is dependent on task 1, task 3 is dependent on task 2, and task 4 is dependent on task 3. If you see at the broader level, then task 4 is dependent on task 3, task 2, and task 1. So suppose if you want to use callback in this scenario. So for example, we have a method to task 1, and once this task is completed, I am going to pass a callback function. I'm not going to create a separate function and pass it here. I'm going to use an anonymous function. So maybe this function will take a parameter, maybe result and arrow. Once we get the result, I'm going to call task 2, and this function also may accept one param, maybe result, and I'm going to pass another callback function which will take another parameter, maybe result 1 with the arrow symbol. I'm going to call task 3, which might take result 1, and again I'm going to provide a callback function, so maybe result 2 arrow symbol, and now I can call task 4, which may take result 2, and I can pass a callback function, so result 3, and we can pass arrow symbol, and now we have called all the 4 tasks, so I can console.log done. So basically once task 1 is completed, I'm going to call task 2, then task 3 and task 4, and all these calls are happening through the callback functions. So basically it is waiting for the previous task to complete. So this looks okay, but when we have multiple tasks which are dependent like this, then it is obviously not easy to read and maintain. This is called callback hell or pyramid of doom. If you keep adding callbacks like this, you are coding horizontally, not the vertically. So basically this is becoming an hell. So if we have few tasks which are dependent, then callback is good. But if you have multiple dependent tasks, then having the nested callbacks is not a good option. The second major problem with the callback is the error handling. All the error handling in this approach will be manual. For example, you want to read the file and somehow file reading is not successful. Then you need to explicitly handle that. For example, here I have again two task 1. I will have a function with two params, maybe error and data. And here using the arrow symbol, we need to perform some checks on error. If error is there, then what to do next? So this error handling in case of callback is completely dependent on you. If you miss it, then your code will behave unexpectedly. And when we have a callback hell, then it's really very difficult to handle error in all the cases. And the third problem with the callback is inversion of control. What is the meaning of that? So basically, here, if the task B is dependent on task A, then you're passing task B as a parameter to task A. Now, it's task A job to call the function. And suppose task A is provided by third party. Then basically you're losing the control. How they are calling, how many times they are calling, and when they are calling, it's completely out of your control. That is called inversion of control. And the fourth problem we can say that it's hard to read, understand, and maintain. If you're a beginner, then obviously this code will be confusing to you. Even for the pro also, understanding the flow will be difficult with the callback hell. So with the growing number of callbacks, it's really difficult to understand and maintain it. So that's all in this video tutorial. If you have any doubt, please comment on this video. If you really like my videos, please like, comment, subscribe, and share with others. Thank you everyone.